What the hell? Look at this crazy guy. Look at this crazy guy giving instructions. What the fuck? What the fuck? No way this dude is out here. Where are the cops? Where are the cops for that kind of stuff? Then literally you have a broken intersection. You have a homeless guy standing in the corner directing traffic. What the fuck? Went up to like say hello and like pay my respect for the hard job that they're doing by just like a wave, peace, thumbs up, and I get a $269 ticket. A $269 ticket for waving hello because the guy has a massive ego trip. Ladies and gentlemen, do I have a freaking good one for you today? Bro, this is my second time trying to make this video because since this happened, I've just had a massive headache from just how upset, disappointing, just pathetic I felt about this situation that I'm gonna talk to you guys about today. But before we get into it, I want you guys to keep in mind, I want you guys throughout the video, if you guys have gone through something similar or something like this in your city, let me know in the comments down below what you think. And yeah, because I would love to get your perspective, especially from the motorcycle community. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the topic of today's video, which is pretty much the worst cops, in my opinion, in the entire United States of America. And that would have to be the motorcycle cops down here in Miami-Dade County. I am telling you guys, I have never seen cops with ego as big as these guys. Now obviously it's not going to apply to all of them. I'm going to talk about one specific case, actually two cases, but one of them that happened to me now and then one that happened to me a couple of months ago. And it just shows you, man, the ego that some of these guys have just because they think they're better than everyone else, even though they ride bike just like me. You're a person at the end of the day just like me. You are not better than anyone else, brother, let me tell you. So let's get into how it all got started, right? Today I got a ticket for speeding. Now I was speeding 66 in a 55, which my speedometer is like 5 miles off. So on my speedometer set was 66, but in reality it must have been closer to 61, 62 in a 55. But whatever, the guy ended up giving me a ticket for 70 because I don't really think he had anything written down. It was just more of gut feeling. Pop sounds nice. Alright, so let's get into it while we're at this red light. I am on my way, not now, but this all started as I was headed home for lunch. My lunch break, going home on the highway, which we're gonna get on shortly. It's the speed limit's 55 miles an hour. And I'm on the highway. I'm doing about 65, 70, right? And I see two motorcycle cops in front of me. Now, between when I see them and the stop, when they actually stopped me, there must have been like a 3 mile where I was just literally behind them, going same speed, cruising 65, 70. They're going 65, 70, no lights, no sirens. So I'm like, okay, I mean, they're clearly not in any emergency. But somehow they're still speeding, but whatever, it's cool. I'm not a cop, what do I care? So I just follow them, and then as I get to my exit, I pull up next to them because they've seen me. I'm obviously in their mirror. I pull up next to them. They're on the middle lane. It's a 3-lane highway. They're on the middle. I go to the right to get off on the exit, and I give them the traditional biker salute, right? Two motorcycle cops. I'm like, hey, let's give them the salute, bro, chilling. So I give them a little peace sign with a thumbs up, just thanking them for their hard work, and letting them, hey, I respect what you guys are doing. You know, you guys are taking an even bigger risk than the traffic cops that are in the car, because you guys are susceptible to the elements, and obviously the same things that I am on a motorcycle. So I understand. This is what I was trying to say. So I give them the 2 thumbs up. I mean, not 2 thumbs up, 2 fingers, right? Peace sign, thumbs up, and then like a little wave, just to say, I appreciate what you guys are doing. Not even 5 seconds later, I notice the cops slow down, and then they get behind me on the exit. I'm like, okay, interesting, whatever. You know, it is what it is. If they want to stop me, they can definitely stop me. It's within their right to do so. So he gets behind me and immediately hits lights and sirens. Immediately, right? And I'm like, okay, well, this is interesting, because I mean, we're both going the same speed, so I wonder what it's going to be. Maybe he's going to tell me my plate isn't properly displayed, which it is. But maybe, you know, he thinks differently. So I pull over. By the way, the guy never, you know, no salute back, no 2 wheels down, keep him 2 wheels down, no thumbs up, no head nod, nothing. Just as if I didn't even exist. But clearly I must have, because he decided to pull me over. So I get off the highway and I go into like an intersection, essentially. And just because it's safer, obviously, than pulling over the highway. So it's probably like, I don't know, 50 meters from when he flicked up his lights. So I'm not running or nothing. And I pull over. I see his cop buddy who was riding with him get off the bike, take out his little speed gun, and immediately go to the intersection to try and see who else they can get for speeding. So I know for sure these guys are out here to give tickets. There's no way I'm getting off with a warning. I'm definitely getting a ticket. So license, registration, I give him all that stuff, chilling. No prior infractions, nothing, clean record, chilling. He comes back and gives me a ticket, which I was expecting. And he then says, do you know why I'm giving you this ticket? And I say, well, I'm guessing it's speeding, because, I mean, it can't really be anything else, right? And he says, yeah, as we were heading off into as we were coming off the highway into the off-ramp, you got up next to us and then you drove away, accelerated away from us. And in my head, I'm just like, you clearly must have failed basic high school, bro. Like, you are essentially brain rotted, because if you slow down to get behind me, at the end of the day, it's all relative, right? Speed is relative to you. So if you are slowing down, what is it going to look like I am doing compared to what you're doing? It looks like I'm speeding up, right? Because you're slowing down to get behind me. It looks like I'm pulling away from you. But in reality, you're slowing down to get behind me. Whatever. I explained to him, sir, that's literally impossible. I was holding steady speed at 66, which, yes, I admit it is over the speed limit of 55. But I was holding steady speed. I wasn't varying my speed, accelerating or decelerating. Just, you know, riding as safe as I possibly can. He's like, yeah, I've heard that story before. I've been doing this for 30 years. Bro, the guy started just going off, bro. Going off. He clearly did not want to hear it. And I tell him, you know, without the respect, I'll own up to it. Like, yeah, I was going 66, which is over the speed limit. So are you, by the way. I'm not saying what I'm doing is right, but you're doing the exact same thing. So if you're going to be critical of me, be critical of yourself. By the way, I'm going 58. The speed limit is 55. If I go 55, stuff like that is going to happen, where people like that just go by me. We're on the same highway that the cop gave me a ticket on, citing me for speeding. And you'll see right here as we get to the stop, the speed sign, you see minimum 40, speed limit 55. I'm going 57 right now. And we're gonna see how many cars pass us. Keep that in mind, because I'm just telling you guys, there's no way in major cities that people do the speed limit. It just doesn't happen. Especially on a bike, you're gonna get rear-ended. So, it is what it is. So I'm going 55. I don't know if you guys can see right there, 55. There we go. So anyways, I tell them, look, if you're gonna be critical of my speed, you have to be somewhat look inward as well and just admit that you were also speeding without lights and sirens. And he's like, it's not about that. I see many guys like you in my 30 years, and all of you guys end up, you know, crashing out, essentially, is what he said. But I don't want to say the K word. Look at everyone passing us. I'm going 5 over the speed limit, by the way. Even the guy hauling a fucking trailer is passing us. Anyways, I end up telling the guy, because dude, this guy was so freaking rude, man. So rude. And you guys are never even gonna get this. Wait till the end. I end up telling him, you know, without the respect, while I do deserve the ticket for technically speeding, because of the way you behave and the way that you carry yourself professionally, that is the reason why people hate cops. Because of people like you. You give cops a bad image by doing exactly what you were doing in this same scenario. You're not carrying yourself very professionally. You don't act like, you treat me as if I was a different class to you. Like if we're not both people at the end of the day. I told them, at least if you see me, I'm on a motorcycle just like you, right? I understand you're an officer, but we both put our pants on the same way in the morning. If you see me, bro, at least give me a head nod, you know, acknowledge. And he's like, what, so you're just upset that I didn't say hi to you? I was like, it's not about that, man. It's basic human decency. You know, it's like, he's like, he then says, so what, if I'm out in public and someone says hi to me, I'm just supposed to say hi back? I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, yeah, if someone says hello, you say, the right thing to do is say, hi, hello, how are you? Bro, this guy is so oblivious. This guy is so lost in the sauce. This guy is so cooked that he fails to even acknowledge the basic principle of what a human interaction is. Imagine this guy, thank God I don't think he deals with this shit, but imagine this guy showing up to domestic violence cases, to worst case scenarios. I don't want to get into it because I don't want the video to be demonetized or anything like that, but just imagine worst case scenarios. Imagine this guy showing up, a guy that has no empathy, no humility, and is essentially pulling me over because I got next to him, waved hello, while I was doing 66 miles an hour. I'm going 65 and people are still passing me. Right now, I'm technically speeding. I got passed by a Miata with less than 100 horsepower. Unbelievable. Anyways, it got to a point where I filed a complaint on this dude. First of all, because he's speeding just like me. So if you're gonna fucking do me for speeding, guess what, buddy? You're not above the law. I know you might think you are, but you're not. So I filed a complaint because of that. And also because of the way that he carried himself, super unprofessional. This guy, Michael Valdez, badge number 5994. There's videos on him already. Like, I went online because, bro, I was so heated. I'm like, bro, there's no way no one else has had an interaction like this with the officer before. And to my surprise, well, not surprised, yes, there are videos of people literally talking about this same exact officer just conducting himself in an unprofessional way. He arrested someone for filming him in a public space while he was arresting a buddy of the guy filming. Right? So you're out with your buddy's getting arrested, you're in a public space, you take out your phone, you give him ample distance, you're recording. He was so upset that he arrested the guy. It ended up going to court, and obviously the charges were dropped because it is within his right to film that in a public space. So this guy's on a huge power trip. Now, I go on Instagram, by the way, __ Baiku on Instagram, if you guys don't follow me there. And I post on my story, I'm like, man, I just had the worst cop experience I think I've ever had. And a buddy reaches out to me. I'm not gonna say his name or anything like that. And he's like, what happened, you know? And I tell him the story. And then I tell him, by the way, what was the officer, because he had gone through an even worse situation with an officer. And I told him, by the way, what was the officer's name who you dealt with? And he said, yeah, I think it's Sanchez or something like that. And I'm like, man, mine was Valdez. Like some dude, like, been on the force for like 30 years. And he's like, oh, Valdez. Yeah, that sounds about right. He sends me literally the badge number and the name. It's the same exact cop that dealt with him, dealt with me. And what happened to him is much worse. What happened, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but essentially he was lane filtering, like switching lanes. The cop saw that, decides to, by the way, when the cop sees that, he's going the opposite direction. So he's going that way while my friend's going this way. The cop sees that, pops a U-turn, pulls up next to him, passes everyone on the shoulder without lights or sirens, cuts off in front of him, asks for license and registration, and arrests him for reckless driving, and he ends up going to jail. The same officer, no questioning, nothing. Basically filtering lanes, straight to jail. And this is a motorcycle cop, by the way. Like, that guy is clearly on a crazy power trip, and he's been doing this for a long time, 30 years according to him, as a traffic cop, which says a lot, because I mean, if you've been a traffic cop for 30 years and you've never received any ability to move up, then clearly something's wrong. But it's situations like that, man, that just give riders, and when I was in the car scene, us drivers, a bad taste in our mouth of officers. And that's why this public distrust on officers, which already have a really hard job, have to deal with. It bases that one bad example, paints a picture with a broad brush, which kind of sucks, but that's just how life is. So that was the experience. By the way, I'm going 15 over the speed limit and I'm still getting passed. If I go 55, dude, I am getting rear-ended. I'm fucked. But yeah, that was the story of today. Crazy. To me, that's insane. The fact that someone carries themselves like that on a professional level after doing it for 30 years, bro, you're a freaking child, bro. You're a child who has crazy ego trip, and just because you think that you served your time, it gives you some sort of right or privilege to be better than everyone else. And breaking news, buddy, you're fucking not. You know, you're not. So you gotta chill the fuck out. But yeah, I filed the complaint. I like that EV Hummer, that thing's sick. But yeah, I filed the complaint, and I'm supposed to hear back 3 weeks from now, blah 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 blah. We'll see if I can get the footage, and if I do, I'll do like a public request or something and see if I can post it on YouTube so you guys can see. And yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think. I'm genuinely like flabbergasted by the situation. And the other time, I was riding home, again, motorcycle cop. I was riding home on my red CBR 600, and it was raining. And I was filtering because it's fucking raining. I don't want to get wet. So I'm at the stoplight. I go to the front of the line as I filter, and two motorcycle cops show up behind me and tap me on the shoulder. Is this an M3? It is an M3. I think it's nice. Thumbs up. Anyways, the two motorcycle cops pull up next to me and then say, if you want to filter lanes, become an officer. Don't do that shit. And at that moment, I was like, bro. I mean, I said, completely understand, officer. My apologies. Won't happen again, obviously. But it blew my mind that he literally just admitted, like, dude, I'm a police officer. The laws that you follow don't apply to me. I do whatever I want. So it's crazy. It's crazy because I don't get that kind of disrespect from officers that are in their vehicles. I've had Florida Highway Patrol, who is notorious for being extremely strict, literally wave me by in high traffic situations to filter lanes. I've had Miami-Dade Police Department, same department, in cars wave me by to filter, have given me warnings for speeding or whatever the case may be. Oh my goodness, brother, but like, come on, like, accelerate. People merge with their brakes on. Like, I've never understood that. But yeah, I've had like car cops be way nicer to me than motorcycle cops, who you would think would be nicer to you because you both face the same risk when you go out riding. But nope, for some reason motorcycle cops have this giant fucking ego that because they ride a motorcycle and they've been professionally trained to be on a cruiser or whatever the fuck they're on, that it gives them the right to treat other people like just absolute shit. And that's just not the case, bro. That is not how you treat people. I'd rather have an officer that practices humility, empathy, in the right situations. I'm not saying always, but in the right situations when deemed necessary. But you can't always, you know, just treat everyone like they're a hardened criminal, man, like they're not. So, again, dude, my headache just gets worse every time I talk about it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think, because have you experienced something similar in your city, like, or town, or like, and if so, how'd you deal with it? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It just puts up a whole vibe, man. Like, I literally just went up to like say hello and like pay my respect for the hard job that they're doing by just like a wave, peace, thumbs up, and I get a $269 ticket. A $269 ticket for waving hello because the guy has a massive ego trip. It's insane, dude. Insane. I guess, like, my whole thing is, I know I'm speeding, right? And that's fine, I'll take the ticket. But man, treat me like a person, bro. Like, treat me like a person. What the hell? Look at this crazy guy. Look at this crazy guy giving instructions. What the fuck? What the fuck? No way this dude is out here. Where are the cops? Where are the cops for that kind of stuff? And literally you have a broken intersection. You have a homeless guy standing in the corner directing traffic. What the fuck? Oh my god, dude. I cannot make this shit up, dude. Such a weird fucking day, man. Such a weird fucking day. I mean, I think it's enough yapping, right? I think we get it, you know. No need to exaggerate either. So with that being said, that's it. I'm done. Nothing more for me to say. So yeah, would love to hear you guys' opinion down in the comments below. But as always, you know how we ended here. Have fun, ride safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!